Hi, Dorian. How's it going? I'm trying to figure this Zoom recording out. I think that I have it kind of figured out. Okay, so I'm going to share the plan with you that I sent you already. So you pretty much described it the way that I would have to you. I'm really sorry I didn't add a lot of dimensions here. And also, for some reason, these say 24 inches and 7 3/4 inches. Those are feet. I was using MicroStation to draw it, and I think clearly they got something mixed up here. So I'm sorry for that. I will dimension this because you seem to really like this layout so far. I want to continue moving forward with this. So I will maybe detail it a little bit further, add some more dimensions in, kind of as you asked for. No problem with that. Some of your concerns with the window here, I think, are totally legitimate. I'm not sure whether we can get a screen for that type of window. So I'm going to do some research, find out a specification for that I think might work. Also, depending on what they can do, I think that the window can open like towards the exterior where each one of the segments kind of folds up to the outside, and we can have it open up towards this side if that makes it easier, because then you could open one leaf when you're cooking here and have three, like what I was imagining is having 2 or 3 leaves closed and having one open. So let me see what I can do and see what we can come up with. There might be a couple of different options, and see if there's a screen option too for that window. So I think keeping your cat inside is clearly very important. The other thing is there's totally a bunch of different options we can do with either hanging a divider here or making some kind of thing to close off this whole back area. Let's look through the 3D model a little bit, and when I get into further detailing the cabinetry like you've described, we can look at that too and see what we can come up with. I want to share with you the 3D model, but know that I haven't worked on the exterior or the windows. So all of that is fluid. We can work on all of those details and when the working drawings get going a little bit more, because right now I only have the plan laid out. So once we get elevations of the interior and exterior, we can kind of move back and forth between 3D and 2D to get it the way that you want or the way that you're imagining it. So let me try and figure out how to share another screen with you. Okay, let's try this. Let's share this screen with you. This is the 3D model. And right now, I don't really have any focus on the exterior. I didn't even model the wheel wells. I just wanted to get the interior working a little bit better. So the way this works with the roof is that because the stair is on the opposite side of the door, it means that when you're walking in the space, you want to be able to walk up the stairs without leaning over. So that means that the roof is angled this direction, so it's higher on the side with the stairs. We can, if you aren't really a fan of that, we can work it out or add a dormer to this side. It's actually going to be a lot easier for you to build without a dormer. So if we can make this work for you, where the roof is a single shed roof, it's going to be a lot easier to build. And honestly, it's probably going to be cheaper and will help with any leakage issues, anything like that, because you're going to be minimizing the penetrations in the roof. If you add a dormer, you're actually penetrating this whole roof. And so you'll have to be careful with the flashing all around that. But let's look at the ground floor plan and kind of work that out, and then we can move up to the exterior and the roof at the same time. So I'm just going to hide this for now. And the idea with this pop out is that you could close the pop out when you're traveling and protect the window and part of the door. So we would want that to be tall enough that when it's flipped up, it'll protect that window. Or we can take it off completely and just have this outside bench protect the window if that's flipped up. So there's a couple of different things we can do for the exterior. I would rather not look at that just quite yet. I want to get the base layout kind of the way that you want. So I just want to show you, this is the loft, the storage loft here. I'm going to hide these so we can talk about what's underneath. So when you walk in, one thing I think that's not quite clearly shown on the drawings is that this whole first floor living area is up one step. And there would be storage below. We can put either a drawer that comes in or access panels on top, whichever way you would prefer. That also might depend on which way the joists are running, because if they're running in the transverse direction of the whole space, then you're only going to get storage pockets kind of in this direction. And so you would want to lift up some hatches in the middle of the floor. If we run the joist the opposite, the longitudinal direction, then you could pull out a big drawer or something like that that could come all the way out and just, have a drawer that pulls out from underneath. So we can look at that once the working drawings get going, and I kind of figure out the best way to frame it. So the way, because this whole first floor is one step above on top of the wheel well, that means that first step going up these stairs naturally wants to start from from the platform up here, and then you would walk up the stairs from there. So if you're down in the kitchen area, sorry if this is making you dizzy, but if you're standing here, this is a 1 foot 8 inches up from the floor. So that would be pretty high to step up from. You would naturally kind of want to go up here and then walk around. That gives you a lot more storage underneath here. I don't think that's quite tall enough for the cat box, but that could be where shoes go or any number of things, cat litter. And then the cat box might want to go kind of in this direction down here with the fan. And then we can put a lid on this stair, make that usable underneath. I am not sure where you want to put the convection oven. I was thinking that it would kind of fit nicely in, let me draw a little box. That might fit nicely here, but I haven't found one that would fit actually. So it's 1 foot 9 inches wide. So let's see what we can do about that. We might be able to make it fit if we move the fridge over a bit, or we could put it in some shelving up above your desk if you don't mind that. Maybe just think about it. We could also mount it below the counter here. That would definitely fit there. So just think about what height you want it at. If you want it up a little higher, like counter height, then I might suggest putting it over here and we can definitely make that fit. But if you don't mind it lower, it would kind of fit nicely here and you'd still get a lot of open shelving. The pantry, I think, works well here. You get a lot of height, like you said, get a lot of storage above the refrigerator. The door, one thing, you asked me what my opinion was on some of the things that we have going on here, and I really like the layout, except for you had mentioned a built-in kind of banister thing here, and that would limit the amount of space you have to open this door. This is like a ghosted door of about how far you could push that door over. And the wiring, I think, for the TV could go in the track. If we leave enough loose wiring behind the door that's kind of hidden, the wire can kind of move in the track pretty easily, or we can build a little like cubby behind the door for the wire to move in. I don't think that'll be a big deal. Might be a little tricky, but we'll figure it out. Especially because it has to move across the space where the table is. But it's not insurmountable. So if you have some kind of bench here, it's going to limit the amount of room you have to move the door completely over. Although we could cut the door off. You could just make the door like table height and have that move across so that it's more like just a panel that's moving, because you don't really need this extra length here. And in that case, you could build out the step a little bit more and still be able to step on that piece that comes out. I'm just not completely sold that a built-in piece here in this location is going to be the best, because it's going to kind of impede this movement you have going on here. Not movement, but you know, this circulation zone. If you had something like a bench that's movable, that's you can bring in and out and move around, then you have a little bit more flexibility. You can make that seating, or you know, you can open it up if you have people over, so you can like put stools in. You know, I feel like the more flexible you get in this area, kind of the better. But it's totally up to you, whatever you want. I personally think that like having stools that you could put storage under, like put things in that are movable, might be a little bit easier long term, rather than a built-in. But otherwise, I really like the layout. I think that you're right about wanting more privacy for the storage area. So I was thinking, if we take out the window here and add a window next to the closet here, like in this area, you'll get nice light in there, and you could just put a curtain in front of it to get a little more privacy. And also a window on the other side in the bathroom would be great. If you want a mirror in front of your vanity though, I don't suggest a window here. You might want to put the window above the toilet, just because then you can have a mirror here. But it's up to you if you don't mind. If you don't want any mirrors, no problem. I'd also suggest a mirror on the full-length door too, so when you're getting ready, you can kind of close it and, you know, put clothes on and see what you're doing. We can figure out something for privacy to avoid people looking into this closet area. I'm not sure yet. Maybe you think about it, I'll think about it, see what we can come up with. I'm really liking this layout a lot too. I think that, let me go in and then unhide everything. So you can see the loft level up here. It's at 6'8". The cat can kind of come around here. I was also thinking that we might want to add a little shelf above the door that comes across here all the way to the other loft. So your cat can kind of walk around. Let me see. I'm missing all of my toolbars. Anyway, guess that doesn't matter, but yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like with the roof on. Tell me what your thoughts are about just having a single shed roof. You can still sit up in here. It's quite a bit of space. See, from here to here. There's enough room in here basically for a storage unit, like I show in the plan. That's about 1 foot wide here. So you can put clothing and stuff in cubbies here and fit a king size bed And there's 3'6" up here. So you'll be able to sit up for quite a distance. Yeah, so you're gonna hit your head if you're laying down and sit up on this side, but I'd say it's probably only like 2 feet or so that you wouldn't be able to sit up. 2 feet. So, you know, it's a concern. So let me know what you think about this. Yeah, you could still sit up about 2 feet out, I think, depending on the length of your torso. Let me know what you think. We can work on the roof plan, no problemo. This is just what I think would be easiest to build, but easiest is not always the best. Sorry, my craziness. Just want to show you, and this is looking out the other direction. I want to look at different types of windows when we look at the elevations. I'm not sure a single window would be the best because that's going to be really expensive. So I can look at some window pricing with you if you want. We might want to do, if we did like 3 smaller windows, we could, for the same price, we could get it up higher. So there might actually be more glass space if you do taller windows that are individual rather than one large one. So let's look at the elevations and do all that together. We also probably want to add some windows on this side, but it's up to you. We could add another window up here. And then in the loft space, a skylight up here for egress, totally easy. And then I was thinking we can do a long window on this side that you could probably get out of too. And that would give you a lot of light, especially because that's at an angle, if you can imagine it. But yeah, I haven't worked on the windows quite yet. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I just wanted to run this by you and show you what I have going on. Yeah, so I think understanding the layout of the stairs is important now that maybe you can see that this is a step up. If you don't like that, that's totally fine. We can pull these stairs down. It'll just increase the height of each stair if we pull it down so the first step is level with this platform. But if you don't mind it, I think you're gonna get a little bit more usable space out of this double height kind of drawer right here. Yeah. So that's what we have going on. Let's see. I'm just going to hide these so you can see it again. The finer grain details of the cabinetry and things like that, I think would be easier for me to draw an elevation. Give me your ideas though. I think figuring out where the convection oven microwave goes will dictate how the rest of the cabinetry works. And whether or not you want a window over the desk or next to the desk. Yeah. Yeah. So that's about it. Let me know your thoughts. I'm excited. Okay. So I stop. Here we go.